Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to For the Public Good. We're the program that tries to identify corporations, institutions, and individuals who are doing good and doing it well. And our guest this evening is Rolly Quintos, a scholar, a teacher, an inspirational speaker, and as chairman of P&I, a successful entrepreneur. He is also a thinker, a dreamer, and determined to see the Philippines become a first world country in his lifetime. How, you ask? That's what we're here this evening to find out. Rolly, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
I expect myself and all of our audience to be just as inspired as I was the last time I talked to you.
Oh, great.
And to get things started, I'm just going to let you start, and I'll just interrupt now and then to show that I have a reason to be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Larry, when my passion, is to see this country transform itself from a poor third world country to become a first world country as soon as possible.
Okay.
And even as a little boy, I was asking the question, why in a land of plenty is there so much poverty? Because we are so rich in natural resources, so rich in human resources, time resources. We have so many resources, and yet, why are we poor?
That's a question. and well, it's one that we all grapple with every day here. And
I think primarily it's a question of leadership. No? Leadership is what uplifts a nation. It's what elevates the consciousness of a people. And leadership is what should inspire, should encourage, should give confidence, hope, a new vision to the people. You know, without vision, the people will perish. That's true. That's true. So we were very fortunate that when the Spaniards left, the United States took over. And the United States, being a colony itself before, knew that its function in the Philippines was to help the Philippines prepare for self-government. And very early they made an announcement that they would leave as soon as the Philippines was ready for self-government. So that was a stated policy from the very beginning. So the Filipinos were excited about this, and they wanted to be ready for self-government. One of the best things that the United States did was to bring 1,000 idealistic teachers into the Philippines and teach the people the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, character and good conduct, and responsibility, and so on. And after, when the Americans left in 1946, we were #1 in Southeast Asia. We had the best schooling system, public schooling system. We had a very good civil service system. We had very good army and police, and we had the most developed economy. We were #1. We were ahead of Singapore, Hong Kong, Thailand, all of the Southeast Asian countries. We were second only to Japan. So the question is, how did it happen that as soon as Americans left, the Filipino leadership that took over began to erode this goodwill, this capital of development that had taken place. And I remember when as a high school student, I graduated 1956. I was given a tour of Southeast Asia. So I visited Singapore, Bangkok, Hong Kong, and my feeling was we were so way ahead of all of these countries. So in 1959, when Singapore had $250 per capita GDP per year, we were probably 3 or 4 times that at that level. No? So it is so sad that instead of, we were here and Singapore was here. Instead of going like this, Singapore went like that and we went like this. No? So we are now trailing far behind before their per capita GDP was only $250. Now they're in the 25,000 above per year, and we are only in the what, between $2,000 to $3,000 per year. So we were really we've really done a bad job of leading ourselves.
So how do we attack that?
Okay, I think that number one, of course, the fastest way would be to have a Lee Kuan Yew, no, the fastest way.
Sure.
Lee Kuan Yew, with this kind of leadership, he was not only graft-free, there was no graft and corruption, but there was also world-class competence. And he was able to get his core group of 300 people to really think on how we can make Singapore Singapore Incorporated. So they treated Singapore like a business, like a corporation, and they were the board of directors. They were the top management of Singapore Incorporated. So they thought of all the ways and means that Singapore could get ahead in the world. And so there was a unified strategy, and they got everyone, 3 million citizens of Singapore, excited. Of course, there was opposition, but the great majority backed Lee Kuan Yew's plan.
Failing that, since we don't have Lee Kuan Yew.
Yeah, failing that, then
I mean, all of us, I think, are big fans of Lee Kuan Yew. You know, I am as well. You know.
Yeah.
And, but how do we, without that, where do we start?
Well, let me say that I'm very happy that President Ninoy Aquino is president, because I think his heart is in the right place. He wants to do well for the country, and he is definitely honest and sincere. And so that's a very important thing, and I'm very happy about that. But we need more than sincerity and honesty. We need world-class competence, and I think what President Ninoy Aquino should be able to do is harness not only his team, because his team is a very small team right now. No, what President Aquino should do is to be able to harness all the goodwill and all the talent of a very talented nation, and gather all these ideas and bring them up, no? Because we have, the government has many television stations and radio stations, and we're not using mass media as a major instrument for arousing or for exciting the imagination of the people to really come forth, for the talents to come out and make it productive and great for the whole Filipino nation. In other words, the president can say, let's make what's best for the Philippines, best for every business, best for every corporation, best for every cooperative, best for every household.
Okay, but how do we do that? You know, I know that we have government stations and we have
Yes.
Broadcasting. Are we not providing any educational programs or inspirational programs from the standpoint?
Well, if there were, I'd be so happy, no? Because
there aren't
but I don't know. I mean, I've been so disappointed in the past that I don't watch the government stations anymore, because what they show are cartoons and sports and things like that, no? They don't. And then we have a lot of programs that are supposed to be entertaining, but it is mindless entertainment. And they play the kinds of games that, you know, almost an insult to the intelligence of people. And but the producers say, but this is what the Filipinos want. I don't think so. I think that if we present a really interesting, inspiring, and truly educational and entertaining, it's got to be edutainment. It's got to be infotainment. No, in other words, information and entertainment have to come together, and it can be done. I always do this in all my seminars. In my seminars, I can speak for 8 hours, 16 hours, and you can hear a pin drop, because they're all very interested in what that in what is being said, because what is being said is good for them. It's gotta be. The people hearing the message must feel, hey, I'm getting something worthwhile here. That I'm enjoying it while I'm learning, and then I can put this to good use, to productive, profitable, prosperous use.
Okay, but if we have a country and we have a big goal
Yes.
of making the Philippines a first world
Yes.
country, we have to start pretty early, or we have to start somewhere.
Yes.
Because you and I can go out and give seminars
Yes.
every day of the year, and we don't.
We won't make a
touch-
dent.
We won't make a dent in anything. So
Agreed.
where do we start to?
Well, I